So a little backstory behind Claire's tattoo. This is what she messaged me. Well, she emailed me multiple images, probably like 7, 8 of them. And then when people message so many images, I always ask them, what do you want? Which one do you like the most? Which one should we go for? Then we narrowed down to this one the most. I was like, okay, cool. It was a Pinterest kind of merge image. I think somebody found something like that on Pinterest and found something like that on Pinterest. And then they merged together. I think using some AI and stuff. So then I ask her, what if I use AI and I clean up? And she says, yeah, cool. So that's what I did. I put that image into AI and I said, make it brand new. So it's the same, but completely new. And then so she did. And that's it. This is where we are. And what we're going to do on top of it, we're going to redraw this in a line work and stencil. Because that is the job. I did take photo of her leg somewhere. I have too many folders with too many tattoos. Would it be underneath? Yes, it is. So that is Claire's leg. It's the same lady that we did a tiger last year. This is also on school. All healed. It's been a year or so. And then she wants this tattoo on the bottom of the leg. This is the area she's giving us the tattoo on. Yeah, looks like I deleted that off, but the one she sent me, I just kind of put that on her leg, and I was like, does that look alright? And she says, yes, looks cool. And then I went and I redesigned this in a sense, and I already made it A4 because. So what we really need to do is behind this tattoo. One, so let's say if I make a brand new layer, client the same way. You can't have a client looking this way, but then your character is looking that way. That's backwards. Yeah, that's a no-no. We need to look that way. And we need to think about there's a hinge. So this area physically moves and bends. That area moves and bends. So we have about this much area to work on. If I decrease that, that's about it. That's kind of the area we work on. Obviously, she allows us to go as big as we please, but I have no intention to go too much wrapping around. With these kind of designs, they're already quite flowy. So maybe I need to, let's say if I duplicate that, and then make that multiply, that on full saturation, just so you guys can see what's gonna kind of happen. So where the character is there, and then it goes on the knee, but kind of goes around the knee, and then the previous flowers. And what I'm trying to do is get the main character mostly in the middle. So I'm thinking where the head is there. So it's not too much there, because that would look weird. There's like a weird gap there. And you also don't want to put it too much here, because then there's a gap there, like what we're going to do. But because this kind of shows where the middle is, we can just aim for the middle and put stencil approximately there. Obviously, it's not gonna be exactly like that, because when you put the images on the images, this is gonna be on her. It'll be more tilted. Something's gonna twist. Something's gonna move. And don't get too caught to make it perfect on iPad. Yeah, because that's not the reality. This is like flat image on a flat image. None of this is real. It's just theory. We can kind of get the idea, but how exactly this all gonna say, we'll figure out tomorrow, literally. So let's say we take that off, and this is what we have. Yeah, so my job now is to make this in line work. For line work, as always, we just make a new layer. We make a new layer. Mostly with these, I desaturate them, so this is full saturation. And if you draw a new layer, you don't even know if you're a new layer or you're not a new layer. Yeah, it's easy to make mistakes. So I always make them like here, so I can see it gets quite lightish, but I can see all the details. Then I hit the plus, and then we know exactly we're a new layer. That's been my tactic. I've been doing this for a long time. I use my brush to make stencils, so it's a Ziggy brush. I physically don't remember using any other brush, which allows me to pull these lines and then I can pull them out really faint, like, see, and the stencil becomes nice. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna capture all the big details, all the blacks first. I try to work an area, for example, here I work, and then when it gets boring, I literally just go elsewhere and I just work on another area. I don't really get too much attached to this. Oh, I need to finish this one area because I was there 2 seconds ago. I don't really have that guilt anymore. Maybe at the beginning I was, because somebody on YouTube said I need to finish this area because I started. Then I kind of stopped listening to those people and I just did whatever I wanted to do. And then life got easier. Yeah. Because as the stencil goes forward, it goes forward. And if you do details elsewhere, you're still doing the same stencil. Like, it's cool, it's fine. You can jump around. Like, inevitably, you will still come and you will add them there anyway. Like, it's gonna happen, surely. And that's about it, the designing aspect. So she came in, she had 15 different images, probably about 10 of those. 10 images. I don't want to like show down email because it'll show her email. 10 images, what she wanted. And then we narrowed down to like, I always say to them, what's your favorite? She said, this is a favorite. I was like, okay, cool. And then from favorites, then we start to analyze why is the favorite, what isn't the favorite, what needs to be different, what can be changed. In that image, the clothes were not really cool, so I kind of redid the clothes in a sense. And yeah, she's kind of free to go as long as she gets like the female character, I guess, female warrior. She's kind of strong character. She's a quiet one, but she's pretty strong. You're gonna see next videos of her speaking and not speaking. She's a nice lady. Sound easy to talk. Drama, so any issues whatsoever. So I've had only good experience with her. Have nothing bad to say about that lady. I tattooed her about 6 years ago, so this is like a client that comes and comes and comes. I did 5-piece, I did a back tattoo, a lower back. I did thighs, yeah, then lower legs and knees and the tiger last year. And then who else I did? I feel like I've done something else that I can't remember now. But it's a client that always comes back and returns and returns and returns. And those are the relationships you want to build and hold. And like, always people always think about in terms of, oh, I'm so booked up, I'm so booked up. Think about more of those people that come back for years. Like, why would they come back for years? You don't need more clients to come back again. There's no need to have so many clients. You just need them to come back, and that's it. Imagine like, how does it feel when you try to get these new clients, but then the one that actually comes is the new client, and you make him feel that you don't really care about him because you want this new client. And when the new client comes, you don't appreciate the new client actually is there, like is there, done, mission is accomplished. But people have this idea they need to go get this new client and new client. It's almost like obsession of new client, new client, new client. You don't need new clients. And again, so much that you never get a fresh Google review. You just have the same ones coming back over and over again. So and when you look at it, you know exactly what needs to be done because the stencil explains itself. If anything, there's a chance that I could even like make areas darker on purpose. So when I'm tattooing, I don't even need to think about what's happening in itself. 3D-ish, it became just because there was a 2 mil more thickness. It's way easier to understand what's happening, way easier to do. And I will literally gonna stencil all these little details, all these little things, and I will most likely gonna be using Spree round liner tight, which is long taper, really thin, fine line needle. It's almost like a real razor blade, but it's gonna be the needle that's gonna be performing the best because it's probably gonna be about this size max. So small face, small body, all the things I say never to do. That's what she wants. So I will try to make it as simple as possible, but try to also make it eligible, readable, strong, and bold. And it's like trying to find the middle ground between that's what she wants and also that's actually what holds for me. So like she's not gonna question anything that I do. I'm just gonna do, and she'll be like, okay, because I've tutored her for 6 years, and any kind of questions, or she's not questioning what I'm doing, she'll just take it and believe it, whatever. So that is tomorrow. I need to make stencil, and then I wanted to make this small, almost like introduction video of what's happening. So when you have this situation where people message with multiple images, they kind of lost. They don't know what they want. They know what they want, but there's this job is to not get frustrated. And narrow down to what specifics, what are the things that they like in each image, why they like these images. Maybe there's elements, maybe there's color schemes. You need to ask, why this image? Why this image? What's in this image that caught your eye? What's in this image that caught your eye? What? How come you pick this one? And then you don't say, oh my god, there's so many photos. You just say, huh, what made you pick this one? They'll tell you, they're like, oh, I like the color of this, and you're like, okay, cool, noted. And then they say, oh, it's just because I like these, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you just use that. You know what I mean? Just use that. If she would say, there was an image where she said, well, there was some image with knives and daggers stabbed in the back. And I was like, how come you pick this one? And she's like, oh, I just liked it. She never mentioned about knives and daggers. And I was like, okay, cool. So I don't really get too attached to this. And it was more the cherry blossoms that she was really kind of into it. And I was like, cool, I'm going to use that. And your job is to narrow down. Your job is to keep your emotions out. Your job is to not get moody. Your job is not to get frustrated. Your job is not to get emotional. Nothing to do with you. It's just client who needs a little bit of support. It's like when you walk in a shop and you just can't find what you need. Sometimes you just ask people. People can't get moody just because you're a little bit lost. You know what I mean? Like it would be quite weird if you go and you can't find where what is. You ask someone and they get evil to you because you can't find it. You know what I mean? Like it's like that's why you are there to help them. Opportunity for you to help them. And they will actually value if you will help or you're not gonna. You will ask questions or you didn't ask any questions. Like they do read the room. They value what you say or what you don't say, or how you say or how you don't say, how you behave or how you don't behave. If you offer or you never offered, like as much as you read the room, they also read the room. They are more nervous. If anything, they are more emotional aware of how they feel, how they felt. Like you can think about big tattoos, and when you ask how much you paid all together, nobody will know. Like nobody will know how much they paid all together. Nobody wants to know. It's a number that nobody wants to know. But you know what they will know? How they felt. They know exactly how they felt. They remember exactly how they felt on ribs, on arms, inner arms, how clients acted, how people, how artists. The like feelings is better than you. And you will know exactly how you felt or how you did not feel, how you were cold or hot, hungry or not hungry, how you were scraping the skin or wasn't scraping the skin. And if I would say how much you paid that day, that person would say no idea. But it was fucking painful. And it was this, and it was this, and it was this, and it was this. You know what I mean? Like you would always remember how you felt. And your job is to always think how you make people feel. Yeah, it's your job. Like your job is to be aware of how you make people feel. Sounds pretty simple, isn't it? Sounds like a caring job. Sounds like you're working with clients. But sometimes people forget to actually work with people. They just kind of treat that as, oh, it's just a job. I just a person that came in. I just a little annoying guy. I just that guy. And they will know and they will remember that for the rest of their lives. And it's just not something you want them to remember you as. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make all the stencils, and the next part of printing out, stenciling, and all that stuff, that's for tomorrow. So this video finishes here. Hope you enjoyed some little backstories of these, and you took some notes, and you will take that in your own life. I'll see you next video, guys. Take care.